If you have reached 60 and are still alone, this does not mean that God has failed, nor that you have wasted his time. But almost no one explains why. Many carry this pain in silence, thinking they did something wrong. Today, the Bible reveals a meaning that is rarely taught and that can bring immediate peace to your heart. Stay until the end, because understanding this changes how you view your loneliness, your faith, and your worth before God. Many Christians believe that reaching 60 alone means something failed along the way. But does God see it that way? Perhaps you never imagined aging like this. Perhaps long ago, your dreams included companionship, conversation at the end of the day, someone to share the silence with. And when life took a different turn, you didn't complain. You simply moved forward. But the truth is, on some days, the heart feels heavy. There is a very specific pain in the loneliness of later years. It is not just the absence of someone. It is the feeling that time passed too quickly. It is looking back and wondering, in silence, was this really it? Was this how my story was supposed to end? And when this pain meets faith, it can turn into guilt. Did God turn away? Did I do something wrong? Am I paying for some choice from the past? But the Bible does not confirm this fear. It confronts it with tenderness. In Psalms 34, verse 18, the word says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted." It does not say, to those who got everything right. It says to those who are wounded inside. Your loneliness does not scandalize God. It does not push him away. On the contrary, it draws him near. There are people who age surrounded by others and feel invisible. And there are people who age alone, but are profoundly seen by God. Marital status has never been the measure of someone's spiritual worth. You are still needed. You are still heard. You still carry dignity. Perhaps the house is too quiet. Perhaps the night is long. Perhaps no one notices your absence. But God does. Have you ever felt that your faith grew deeper precisely in the moments when no one else was around? Have you ever felt that God spoke more softly but closer? Hold this in your heart, because something even deeper is happening in this season of your life, and almost no one talks about it. And that is exactly where we need to go now. What if what you call abandonment is, in fact, a presence closer than ever? Many expect God in life's big turns: marriage, children, achievements, applause. But the Bible reveals a God who manifests himself most clearly precisely when the noise dies down. After 60, something changes. The rush fades. The masks fall. The expectations of others lose their strength. And it is in this silent space that God often sits by our side. In Isaiah 46, verse 4, he makes a promise whose depth few perceive. "Even to your old age I am he, and to gray hairs I will carry you." God does not promise distraction. He promises sustenance. Perhaps today, he is not opening external doors, but he is strengthening something far more valuable within you: spiritual rest, security, identity. There is an intimacy with God that is only born when we learn to be alone, not abandoned, but accompanied by him. It is in this season that prayer changes. It becomes simpler, truer, less full of requests, and more full of presence. Do you notice how your faith today is different from the faith of your youth? Perhaps before you asked for answers. Today, you learn to trust even without them. This is not loss. This is spiritual maturity. God does not waste seasons, not even the ones that seem empty. Sometimes, he allows loneliness to protect your peace. Other times, to heal old wounds. And often, to remind you of something essential. Your worth has not diminished with time. It has deepened. Perhaps God is shielding you from bonds that would bring restlessness. Perhaps he is calling you to an inner freedom you have never lived before. But there is still an important truth missing. A truth about purpose after 60 that completely changes how you view this season of life. And that is what we will discover next. But first, if this message is already bringing some peace to your heart, leave your amen in the comments. Many people believe that after 60, purpose ends. But does God think so? Perhaps you have already felt that your useful phase is over, that now it is just a time to wait. Wait for the days to pass. Wait for the phone to ring. Wait for visits that don't always come. But this idea never came from God. The Bible shows that the Lord continues to work deeply in the lives of those who have matured. In Psalms 92, verse 14, it is written, "They will still bear fruit in old age. They will stay fresh and flourishing." It does not say some. It does not say those who are not alone. It says they will still bear fruit. Perhaps the fruit now is not the same as before. It is no longer hustle. It is no longer physical strength. It is presence. It is wisdom. It is intercession. It is silent example. God did not keep you alive until now by chance. And He did not make a mistake by allowing you to live this season without a companion. Sometimes today's purpose is not to do more. It is to be deeper. Have you noticed how your words now carry more weight? How your advice can change someone's day or even their life? How your faith, even when silent, sustains others? Perhaps God is using you in a way that doesn't show, but that sustains, like deep roots that no one sees, but that keep the tree standing. And yet, there is something even more delicate that God works on when He keeps us single in this season: the healing of identity. And that is what we need to talk about next. What if God is using this season to restore who you are, and not just to accompany you throughout life? Many learn to define themselves through the other, through the spouse, through the children, through the family they cared for, through the role they played. And when those people or functions change, a hard-to-name void remains. Perhaps today you don't just miss someone by your side. Perhaps you miss yourself. The Bible reminds us in Isaiah 43, "Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine." Before any human relationship, you belong to God. Before being a wife, husband, father, or mother, you were already loved. Sometimes, God allows loneliness, not as punishment, but as a return to the essential, to the place where your identity does not depend on who stays or who goes. Relationships can be a blessing, but they can also hide wounds. And there are healings that only happen when the heart grows quiet before God. Have you noticed how, today, you know yourself better? How some old pains have finally surfaced? How certain memories have returned, not to wound, but to be healed? This is not regression. This is restoration. God works deeply when no one is looking. He rebuilds identity carefully, like someone restoring an old house, piece by piece, without rush, without noise. Perhaps you are learning to feel whole again, not because you found someone, but because you found yourself in God. If this truth touches you, share this video with someone else who is also living this season in silence. Sometimes, God uses a simple word to relieve a weary heart. Also, please leave your like and subscribe to our channel. But there is still a final revelation, a serene and liberating truth about companionship that changes everything when we finally understand it. And it is with this that we will walk now. Many believe this season is just a time of waiting. But what if God is living this moment with you, step by step? After 60, the world seems to slow down. Schedules become empty. People remain busy with their own routines. And, without realizing it, a feeling of being superfluous in one's own story is born. Perhaps you have thought, my part is already done. Now it's just waiting for the end. But God never spoke like that about you. In Deuteronomy 31, verse 8, we read, "The Lord Himself goes before you. He will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." Notice, He goes before, not behind, not at a distance. This means that, even now, God is still preparing paths, even if they are simpler, more silent, more internal. Perhaps your walking today is just to the window in the morning, a short prayer before coffee, an unexpected phone call, a verse that comes to mind. Effortlessly, These are not leftovers of life. They are encounters. Have you noticed how God makes himself present in small details now? A ray of sunlight, a good memory, a peace that arises without explanation? This is also God walking with you. Perhaps he is teaching you to live without hurry, without fear of tomorrow, without the need to prove your worth. A faith that does not run rests. But there is something even more comforting, something that seals everything we have said so far with a firm, secure, and eternal promise. And that is what we need to hear now. What if God's greatest promise for this season of life was not to change your condition, but to guarantee that you will never be alone? Over the years, you have seen people come and go from your story. Some left by choice, others were taken by time. And with each farewell, something inside your heart learned a silent truth. All human companionship is limited, but God never was. In Hebrews 13 verse 5, he states firmly, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." This promise has no expiration date. It does not depend on your strength. It does not diminish with age. Perhaps the nights are longer than before. Still, there is a constant presence that does not leave when the world slows down. God remains. He knows your thoughts before you even form them. He knows the memories that arise out of nowhere, the longings that tighten your chest, the prayers you make in silence, without words. There is a companionship that requires no energy, explanations, or performance. A presence that traverses repeated days, medical appointments, changes in the body, and even the fear of the future. Have you ever felt that peace that comes for no apparent reason? That rest that envelops the heart, even when nothing has changed around you? This is not chance. It is God fulfilling exactly what he promised. Perhaps this season of life is not about receiving something new, but about perceiving what never left. About learning that God's presence is enough to sustain, comfort, and give meaning to the days. Cherish this. Even now, God walks with you. He sits at your table. He holds your hand. And he continues to write chapters full of peace, dignity, and hope in your story. Rest in this truth. You have never been alone. Perhaps you have come this far, carrying questions you never dared to say out loud. Perhaps the loneliness still exists. But now you know, being alone after 60 is not abandonment, nor punishment, nor a sign that God has forgotten you. The word reminds us, in Isaiah 46 verse 4, that even in old age, God continues to sustain, carry, and care. His love does not age. His purpose does not expire. His presence does not leave. This season of life is not an empty end. It is a time of maturity, of inner rest, of faithful companionship. God is with you today, in the simplicity of the days, in the memories that come and go, in the peace beginning to be born in your heart. If this video has brought you comfort, write a simple word of faith in the comments. Share it with someone who needs to feel seen again. Leave your like, and if you wish to continue walking with us, follow our channel, Ageless Souls. And always remember, even if the days are silent, God still speaks. Even if the path is slow, God still walks with you. And even now, he is still writing new chapters of peace, meaning, and eternity for your life. God bless you.